Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're unpacking a truly incredible collision today. Heavy industry, international geopolitics, and cutting-edge tech. We're looking at how a massive, highly politicized cross-border waste crisis is being completely transformed by edge AI into a staggeringly profitable trade. I mean, if you think waste management is just about garbage trucks and tipping fees, well, prepare to have your perspective entirely flipped. Here is our roadmap for today. First up, the Michigan Waste Corridor. Second, the 2034 capacity cliff. Third, we enter the digital refinery. Fourth is the six-layer AI stack. And finally, number 5, shorting the landfill. Let's get right to it. Section 1, the Michigan Waste Corridor. To really understand the high-tech solution here, we first need to grasp the massive scale of the physical trade happening right now between Canada and the US. It's a logistical highway that most people never see, but it entirely underpins the economy of both regions. So here's our starting point. Every single year, Ontario generates roughly 10 million tons of municipal solid waste, or MSW. Out of that, a whopping 3.46 million tons are shipped directly from Ontario right across the U.S. border and dumped into Michigan landfills. Just picture the logistics there, an endless daily convoy of trucks moving millions of tons of waste south. But when you flip the perspective to the Michigan side, that imported Ontario trash isn't just a drop in the bucket. It actually accounts for a staggering 14.35% of all waste disposed of in Michigan landfills. It's this massive load-bearing cross-border interdependency. And right now, that interdependency is under immense pressure. Which brings us to Section 2, the 2034 capacity cliff. Because we aren't just dealing with a lot of garbage, we're dealing with a hard collision of space, law, and international trade policy. The ticking clock here is incredibly loud. The deadlines are coming up fast. We face immediate tariff shifts in 2026 under the USMCA, that's the US-Mexico-Canada Trade Pact, also widely known as CUSMA up north. Then, by 2029, we hit the RE Wood mandate, literally making it a criminal offense to landfill clean dimensional wood in Ontario. And finally, the ultimate geology cliff hits in 2034. That's the midpoint when Ontario's engineered, clay-lined, domestic disposal cells simply run out of room. The physical space will literally just be gone. Looking neutrally at the year-to-date headline news in Ontario, we can see the exact political catalysts accelerating this timeline. When Ontario passed Bill 5, the Protect Ontario Act, to carve out the York Von Dresden landfill expansion, Premier Doug Ford's stated rationale was exactly this: securing domestic capacity just in case Washington policy, specifically under Donald Trump, closes the border to Ontario's garbage. Regardless of your politics, this explicitly highlights how Washington's posture and USMCA trade policies are recognized as severe risk factors, forcing the entire waste market to reprice itself. So, the crucial point in the short term is just days away. On August 19, 2026, Section 338 tariff shifts kick in, applying 50% U.S. duties to finished Canadian wood. That means verified clean wood, diverted outside the wall, and remaining USMCA exempt under its specific harmonized system code becomes incredibly valuable. The spread in value between mixed waste and verified clean wood is absolutely about to explode. Section 3. Enter the digital refinery. Now let's look at how the market is actually responding in intercepting this chaotic, highly politicized stream. We're stepping away from traditional waste management and going straight into the tech sector. This defines the core philosophy of a platform called 905 Wood and their digital refinery. They don't even call themselves a waste disposal company. Instead, they act as a sentient bridge. They take chaotic construction waste right at the source and mathematically transform it into the high-purity material required by the global circular bioeconomy. It's not just about diversion, it is about securing Ontario's industrial leadership in the global pyrogenic biocarbon market. And the financial motivation is a total no-brainer when you contrast the penalties. Burying mixed waste under Ontario's CIR-CIL levy hits $60 a ton. Compare that to the massive savings of routing verified clean wood at just $5 a ton. The urgency for accurate, undeniable classification is huge. If you can prove a massive 144-yard walking floor mothership trailer is full of clean wood instead of mixed waste, you save over $1,000 on a single load, just in provincial levies alone. Section 4, the six-layer AI stack. To capture that massive spread in value, 905 Wood deploys a rigorous technological workflow. They can't just guess what's in the bin. Let's break down exactly how this works under the hood. This seamlessly breaks down their six-layer architecture.
It starts at the intake compliance gate, moves through physical logistics via those massive mothership trailers, processes through AI regulatory compliance, hits value realization through decoupled stripe billing, locks in reporting with a USMCA Shield Certificate of Origin, and finally ends in scientific validation. That scientific layer is the magic. It turns the physical wood into a registered climate removal certificate on the biocarbon market. It's a complete end-to-end pipeline from a chaotic dumpster to a tradable carbon asset.
But let's ground this complex jargon in reality for a second. What does Layer 1 actually look like on a dusty construction site? Well, the compliance officer is basically a $999 smartphone, specifically a Google Pixel 10 Pro running Android 16. It utilizes the LightR AI stack to run a Gemma 4 model right there on the device. It makes cryptographic classifications at the bin in under 500 milliseconds. The phone's Titan M2 hardware creates an unbreakable hold-to-seal audit record. This setup literally generates the request for quote, handles the compliance verification, and outputs a sleek UI/UX PDF document right on the edge. It makes every single downstream layer completely legally defensible. Section 5. Shorting the landfill. This brings us to the ultimate trader's metaphor driving this entire operation. Let's look at how all this tech translates into mind-boggling financial returns. Every load routed through the digital refinery workflow is essentially a bet. You're betting that the price of not sending it to a landfill will rise faster than the tech costs to intercept it. And just look at this value stock. For a mid-market general contractor, fleet moving, say, 200 loads a week, the annualized value is staggering. We're talking $10.75 million in levy avoidance. But the real trade, that's the carbon dividend, the value of turning that clean wood into a registered carbon asset. At book rate, that's $28.3 million. At spot high, it is nearly $80 million. And on a micro level, this really illustrates the ceiling of this trade. At current spot high market premiums, a single 144-yard mothership trailer generates a $7,660 carbon dividend. That dividend becomes the load-bearing profit center of the entire trade. Basically, the disposal fee pays for the trucks and the AI. The carbon asset is the pure profit. So, I'll leave you with this to ponder. As the countdown to that 2034 capacity cliff continues, the fundamental definition of what we consider waste versus wealth is changing right before our eyes. Who truly holds the value in tomorrow's circular economy? Is it the owner of a shrinking domestic landfill, or the one who intercepts, categorizes, and monetizes the waste first using a sentient bridge? I hope this explainer gave you a whole new way to look at the future of our infrastructure. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one.